We're just underway in the next frame. 5-all. It's first to 10, remember, to become champion here in Wuxi City.
Yes, £50,000 difference today. These boys are playing for 30,000 guaranteed, 80,000 to the winner. Neil won't be best pleased with that one. He's pushed that red over the corner. Expect this to be punch and counter punch between these two. Nice kiss as well. Oh, what about that one? Well, John Higgins, as we've already said, has got a new cue and he's settled into it very nicely. Two finals in a few weeks, within a few weeks, and winning in Sofia, of course, in the first European Tour event. I don't think that's come up as well as he would have liked. I think he just blocked the pocket to the middle, the right middle. Well, perhaps there is room. There was, because he caught the far jaw.
Yes, and it's the sort of match where there won't be that much missing because they can't afford to. That could easily be his last shot of the frame. That's been the standard. So even a shot like that could be very important.
We'll be able to just nudge one or two more of these reds away from the black spot. Again, it's a little bit crowded at this end. Just try and give himself a little bit more room. Can't really get any better than these two as regarding match play. Both hard season campaigners.
9.
It's great. The story, really, Neil, is fantastic, David, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned you watched him when he first came over and played in all the qualifiers. You saw the raw talent, but the way he's gone about his business and polished every department of his game over the last few years has been fantastic, really. Came over to the UK with £500 in his pocket. He's made nearly £2 million on the table. Great story.
I think someone's, well, I'm sure they're moving around in his eye line or taking pictures. Michaela Tabb, the referee, just having a word. Not for the first time today, and I suspect probably not for the last. Yes, I think the pivotal moment in his development, he won the Masters qualifying event, played Jimmy White at Wembley. You can imagine what that was like. Jimmy's obviously always been popular in London, and Neil, I don't think, could quite believe the atmosphere, and he was a bit like a rabbit in the headlights, but he learnt from it. And the next time he played in a big occasion like that, he was ready, and he's been ready ever since. He's won 7 world ranking titles, including the World Championship. He's won the Masters. He's world number 1 by some distance now. Mark Selby didn't qualify. Judd Trump went out early on.
As it shows you, John Higgins up to number 6 in the world from start place of 11. Yeah, Neil's already 6,000 points in front of Mark Selby, and still another 1,400 points to play for today.
25.
John Higgins then wondering how costly that miss is going to be to the right middle, because Robertson has been in excellent form the last few frames. So things have turned round here. They could turn back, of course.
33.
The final in Bulgaria was high quality, but obviously quite short. First to 4, wasn't as much time for things to turn around. This is a better distance for these two. A lot of people wondering with the new flat draw system, everyone in the very first round, the last 1 to 8, what would happen? Well, this is what's happened. It's Neil Robertson against John Higgins. The cream has risen to the top, as it always does.
Don't know whether we'll play a little cannon here of some sort or play on the loose one in the middle of the table. Goes to play the cannon. Well, it could have finished better. Just caught the red a little bit on the full side, actually. Wanted to hit it more towards the right. Just come away from them a little bit more. Still got this one to the centre. Don't know whether he'll drop this in and just possibly cannon into the pink. Very unlucky not to land on the colour. Well, he's caught the pink, but he's caught it thin. And I thought he was going to stay in the middle of the table. So that is end of break. And he's got no option but to try and drop dead weight in behind this green. And we know how tough these are on that back cushion. This table over the last 2 or 3 days has been playing super fast. They've all picked up actually during the week, first couple of days, with just settling in, a little bit sluggish with the humidity, but once the heat got to them, they've played better ever since. You might just choose to come off the yellow and put the white to the side cushion near the brown.
Robertson 49.
Well, it's good thinking because he's put the yellow safe. I think he's covered the one on the right hand side. That was probably the better shot than trying to get him behind the green. Although it has bounced off this cushion. And John, well, you can see the one down the left hand side. Contemplating a plant, perhaps. It was very difficult for Neil to get things totally safe there. He's going to have to take a slight risk. So he's having a go at this one then. So close. But it might have cost him the frame. If it went in, he might have won the frame. It's a very fine line sometimes. Didn't have the correct angle on the black, having to play on this red to the middle.
9.
You get two players of this class, David, at the top of their games like this in the final, and you just know it's going to be superb stuff.
Yes, it's a great pleasure to watch, isn't it? The great players when they're playing well, as these two have throughout the tournament, and indeed have done today.
But if Neil gets this one, John's going to have to think about steadying the ship a little bit.
Yeah, Robertson, he won the first frame, so that's the only time he's been in front so far. So he's about to go back in front. This black should secure the frame. Advantage Australia.
22. 23. 30.
Let's not forget his tournament began, of course, in Gloucester at the qualifying, where he turned up without his waistcoat and trousers. Forgot to pack them. Made a 147 in Matt Selt's clothes. And here he is now in front in the final.
38.
You think you might be asking for a little bit of commission then if he wins the 80,000 later today?
Might be an idea.
I think there might be a text message on the way.
Well, one thing he's not forgotten is how to play world-class snooker, which he's done all tournament. The only round until now where he was really pushed was the quarter-finals. Chow Yu-Peng was superb there, but Robertson won the last two frames to win 5-4. Other than that, it's all been pretty easy for him.
46. 52. 54.
Easy now. He's cueing so well.
57.
Well, don't be surprised if he knocks this in down the cushion as well.
He was close. Break ends at 57. John Higgins missed two reds in that frame, and the two breaks that Robertson made means that he now leads by 6 frames to 5.
Frame 12. Neil Robertson to break.
So Neil Robertson has won the last 4 frames. He leads here 6-5.
Yeah, it's just getting back to that point from the World Championship. I think they only had about 3 weeks actually before they were playing again. From the last ball they hit to the first ball they hit in the new season.
Yeah, but of course these two had 5 weeks because they lost in the first round.
Not been hanging about these two either. They're averaging about 15 minutes a frame. Just great stuff. The first frame between Neil Robertson and Robert Milkins yesterday took 46 minutes, I think it was, but it was all tactical stuff. There was about 13, 14 reds in the bulk area, and some of the safety was absolutely superb. I think in the end, I think all the reds was in the bulk area, or just about, especially at that end of the table, but the safety was fantastic. Took 46 minutes to sort that one out, and then Neil sort of took off then a little bit, went into overdrive. Took the grip on that semi-final. Well, he might be going for this because he's just being disturbed, I think, in the line of the shot. You can't obviously put the white to the top cushion.
Excuse me?
Well, go on, Michaela.
Tell him to
Another one to sort out.
Stand still. Stand still.
It's turning into charades.
Make a good colour sergeant, won't you? John's seeing the funny side now.
Yeah, is it a book or a film? I think the penny will eventually drop. Well, someone's going to have a word. Well, at least he could smile about it rather than getting uptight.
Just hope it hasn't broken his concentration. This pot's tough enough as it is. Oh, what can you say? He's got the nudge. He's been unlucky. He's covered the black. And that deserved to be on the black, actually. That was a wonderful pot from there.
Green ball.
He's nominated the green. 3 cushions, I think. I'll tell you what a shot that is. What a shot, because he's had to just miss everything. And he's nearly got the snooker. That was incredible. That's one of the best shots of the tournament I've seen this week. It's, you know, the pot on the red was fantastic, but that escape was wonderful. Now, has he got Neil snookered? It amazes you really at this game. You just think you've seen it all, and then something else pops up. Well, if he could see this red to pot it, he'd be down to it by now. Might be able to see some of it, but not enough. That's different, but effective.
You need a lot of nerve to play that, don't you? Because if that had just drifted slightly, it would have been onto the other corner.
Great touch. But the important thing for John Higgins is he's played a poor one. That's really poor from him. I was about to say he needs to try and level up this match, and as we said, step, but he'll be livid with himself with that safety, and I think Neil can hold for the black here, if not back for the blue at least. Well, you can't give Neil those sort of chances, not the way he's playing, and that was a poor safety from John Higgins.
Well, this is a thin one with the white close to the side cushion. He's just cued so well, hasn't he, throughout the whole tournament?
Yep. Just dropping that in, this red at the back of the pack. And if he can get this one right as well and get on the black, you never know. This could be 7-5. Oh, he was walking.
Robertson 6.
He thought he'd got that.
Well, these pockets have not been generous this week. And refused to take this one. It was wide.
One.
It's not bad. I don't think he played that far down the table, but he'll take it. He's got the brown or the green here. Brown to try and get on this red near the black, or is he going into the side of the pack? He's gone full-blooded, and that's unlucky. That is so unlucky. Caught them well.
5. John Higgins 5.
Well, better safety this time. Superb. Would like to have been still at the table though. But he'll take that.
Well, that's what you call granite, isn't it? I mean, obviously disappointed not to get on a red, but played a great shot here to keep the pressure on. Two real tough guys of the sport here, these two.
Wasn't that far away,
John Higgins 4.
but that will go back. Oh, hang on, it might not. There's a red on the left-hand side here.
One.
Don't know whether the black will pass the red to the left corner. John's got to make the most of this. He's been a bit of a spectator over the last few frames.
7.
If you run through here, which I think he's doing, the black obviously goes.
8.
Well, that was a great snooker he laid, and I think he should just about get his reward here.
Yes, that's the thing when people talk about John Higgins as a great all-round player. He doesn't just win with tactical snooker grinding people down. When he gets a chance like this, he usually scores heavily.
Third in the all-time centuries list, 525 he's had, behind Ronnie and Stephen Hendry. Sorry, my apologies. It's 533. I'm looking at the start list. He's made 8 this year. Started the season at 525. He's made 8. Neil Robertson's already made 10. In fact, he's made 11 because he made 1 this morning. I might get my facts right in a minute. Made 113 in the last frame of the first session. Good shot.
Well, he needs a big break here, whatever it ends up as, just to steady the ship a bit. He's lost the last 4 frames, but he's been in this position, of course, so many times before in various finals all around the world. Won his first ranking title when he was just 19, the Grand Prix, 1994, so that's 19 years ago. He's won 25 in total, the same as Ronnie O'Sullivan, so he can move into 3rd place on the all-time list today, which would leave him just 2 behind Steve Davis on 28 and 10 behind Stephen Hendry on 36.
32.
Just going to touch farther on the blue for comfort. I mean, if he's playing this a natural angle, he might be just running into that red left of the black. He's got to be careful here. It could go wrong. You could play a little gentle cannon into the reds, possibly the pink. No, he's come around them. That's fair enough. Position's guaranteed, really, playing it that way.
37. 38.
Again, just slightly overdone. He's got the brown, but he might take the blue to the corner. Can he run through and from the blue get on that loose red? He's having another look at the brown. Played the half stun shot. No, that's gone wrong. Didn't play there. Well, I think there might be a safety coming up. Well, you can see the disappointment.
John Higgins, 42.
A fraction more, and it was perfect. The only problem for John Higgins is here they're not getting the full snooker. There's a possible two-ball plant to the left corner here for Neil. He's looking at that now. And I think John, as he walked away from the table, realised what he might have left on. This is a shot to nothing, but if it goes in, the yellow and green down there, and if he doesn't get positioned, he can lay the snooker. Nearly. John got away with that one then. And Neil's covered the right on red with the blue. Wasn't far away. Safety. Don't think there's a three-ball plant on there. Just trying to get the white down towards the yellow perhaps. The reds are open now. And John's just played that with a little bit more pace than he would have liked. But this table really is playing fast. John leads by 46 then, but there's still plenty on there for Neil. Well, I think he's looking at the red just right of the pink here. I think he's going to try and chip this into the right corner. Unlucky. We'll settle for that. Well, he's been lucky. He's covered it with the other red. Big frame this. Obviously, the difference between 7-5 and 6 apiece. Just one more frame to come before the mid-session interval in this session. It's been of high quality, David. Neither player will be rushed, of course, but invariably they think about the things and then play the right shot.
It's been really high standard, and I'm sure that will continue. I'd be surprised if either one of them won easily. I think, well, if it went to a decider, I don't think anyone would be surprised. Or disappointed, for that matter.
It's like he's playing the plant. Screwing back for safety. Oh, hang on. I was just about to say, is the side about to spin it in? And it did. He's transferred side onto the second ball there, and it's just spun in off the cushion.
It had to think about it, didn't it, before it dropped?
Just watch this. Sits there. It is spinning there.
Thank you, gravity. Well, he's in. He has put a red on the side cushion, which John Higgins will be pleased about.
Perfect for a left-hander though, David, on that side. If he gets in behind it, he might try to move it, but he's got the choice. And after that, really,
5.
you can say that, I mean, everything else is potable. This is a great chance to lead by 2.
6.
A couple of thoughts about that red near the side cushion, but a little further down the road. Just get rid of these 2 first.
20. 21.
Now I wonder, and he might just try and screw directly onto that red there with medium pace. He'll still leave himself on the other one. Might be worth a shout to try and nudge that red off here. Nope. Now here's a shot. He could move it here and stay on the black or the pink.
27.
The option is to play on the black, of course, but I think he might try and nudge the red, or he should do. He's missed it. He's gone wide. That wasn't a great shot, really. That red was a big target. Might just lay in behind the green now. Well, he had options there, Neil, but he'll be angry with himself that he missed that red by a distance, really.
Well, John Higgins snookered, but he'd prefer that to Neil Robertson dislodging the red and clearing up. 18 points in it in this 12th frame.
Yeah, he's still got to be careful here, though. He could still leave this red on. Top cushion with a little bit of right-hand side on the cue ball. Oh, that was a long way away. Well, it was the first time. Hang on. That's a free ball as well.
7, 3 ball.
Well, I think he might have that put back, actually. Yeah, John's coming back to the table. If the pink had been dead straight, I think he'd have knocked the pink in and left the angle from black to red. But he's going to let John dislodge this red off the cushion. And hopefully, for Neil's point of view, leave it on. Well, he needs more side on the cue ball, of course. And a slight swerve around the brown as well. Good hit. But where are they going to finish? Oh dear. Well, some days you get away with them and others you don't.
Yeah, just a little kiss there could have knocked it on the cushion, or certainly knocked it safe, but as it is, he left it on.
One.
Things going well for the Aussie at the moment. He's just starting to possibly take a grip on this final, especially if he wins this one. The next frame will be massive for John Higgins. There's no way he'll want to go 8-5 behind. First to 10. He's capable of winning from there, but Neil is in such good form. This frame not over yet, of course, but he shouldn't really miss from here. It's only the green that's the slight difficulty, the rest on the spots.
7.
Well, John, a little bit unlucky in this frame, I suppose, because obviously Neil got that fluke when he played the plant and then found himself snookered. As you can see there, doesn't look quite a happy bunny, does he? So, but if it goes 7-5, he's going to have to dig in. But this is relentless stuff here from Neil Robertson.
Well, the pink, and it means it's 5 frames in a row for Robertson. John Higgins in a bit of trouble here. This final has turned round, and it's turned in favour of Melbourne's Neil Robertson, who's now 3 frames away from victory. He leads the Wuxi Classic final by 7 frames to 5. It's not quite a must-win frame for Higgins, but he'd certainly like to win it, put it that way. Because 8-5 down is going to be a struggle, quite obviously. And, well, he needs to cover both reds, not only the one to the middle, but the one to the corner. It's a good cue ball, at least. But in these long matches, of course, and we've seen it many times before, there is still time for it to turn back, and maybe turn back again. Neil Robertson was well in front against Judd Trump. I think he was 8-5 up in the International Championship final last season. Trump won 10-8, so he knows he's not there yet. That's a cracking pot. The white was on the baulk cushion, so he's in, and it wasn't a good break-off shot, you've got to say, from Higgins. So 5 in a row, and if he can win this one, it's fair to say he will enjoy his interval cuppa,
6.
or whatever they drink in the intervals. Graham Dott in his book said he doesn't drink tea and he doesn't know anyone else that does, but I can't quite believe that that's true. Surely someone on the tour must drink tea in the interval, Graham.
Well, seeking revenge for that defeat in Sofia a few weeks ago, and at the moment it's looking good. You just drop this in actually. There's a couple of reds there just above the black. Could do with being on one of these reds fairly straight. So, oh, that's got a big bounce. It's really took off. You'll have to go down for the blue now. Yes, I think the black is available into the left corner. Then you can move that red out of the way, but you can't do it here.
It really is quick, isn't it, this table? It used to be when players, when tournaments went to the Far East, particularly Thailand actually, more than China, the cloths were really heavy with the humidity, but conditions this week, and quite a few players have mentioned it, have been really nice.
I think the cloth they've got now, Dave, they've got the balance, haven't they? There's not, it's not too thin, it's not too thick. You know, there's enough nap on there to be able to grip the ball. And we used to play on some cloths that were cut that fine, they were like ice rinks, and the ball started skidding. But once they get these tables up to speed, they're beautiful. Of course, these lads are trying to replicate this in their local clubs or whatever, where they practice. They have this same cloth, same cushions, same heaters. But of course, you've also got the heating of the lights. It really dries things out. That could have finished better. Only able to play a safety.
Well, that's really unlucky. He's gone into nicely.
It's been a little fortunate there because he didn't play above the yellow. Trying to get in behind it. He's just left this a little bit awkward for John. In the frame, really, that he needs to win. A little bit pacey, if anything, because he's offered up a pot here, possible pot to the left corner for Neil. And there's a gap for the white. Well, I was about to say he likes these sort of pots, but he's refusing it this time. Playing the safety. Great pace. Well, it's John's turn to get a little bit lucky. If that cue ball had just travelled another couple of inches, I think Neil will be looking to chip this red into the right corner. He still might. He might be able to get the cue in there, actually. Yes. Shot. Just depends where this finishes.
One.
He's on the brown to the middle. That's a good clip in there. It wasn't safe enough, really, from John Higgins. He's got a pot on the brown. He's slightly the wrong side here. He's going to have to power this in to get on the red and in the middle pocket. But in the present mood, I think he might take it on. He's playing the screw back. The power shot off the back cushion. Oh, I tell you what, when it comes up, when it comes off, I should say, it looks fantastic. What a shot!
5.
Well, there's the confidence, David, and it's very high indeed.
Yes, and also the cueing as well, just lovely. He's played like this all week. He really has played well.
6.
And he's earned a chance here to make it 8-5.
Well, if it isn't to be for John Higgins in this final, he'll be the first player to congratulate Neil on how well he's played. He's not out of this yet. But if it goes 8-5, that's a long way back. Well, a touch far, if anything. I'm not sure if you can hold for the pink. Might have to go back for the blue.
26.
Got this cue ball on a string.
Well, getting closer, 55 in front, 75 on.
Just shows you at this level that that cue ball nestling against the green there with John's safety wasn't good enough. The brown to the middle was superb.
So this red, Higgins will need snookers. It looks like 6 frames in a row for Neil Robertson. What an effort from 5-2 down.
Well, we're enjoying this one. I'm sure they are as well. This is high quality stuff here from 2 great players. But most of it is coming from this guy at the moment.
John Higgins has recovered many times from this sort of position, and let's be honest, he's not done much wrong. Certainly can't rule him out, but quite obviously the Australian
52.
is going to be much the happier as they head off to the mid-session interval.
It's just the touch, isn't it? The stroke, you know, the delivery of the cue. It's perfect. He's just touching the balls, not hitting them hard. We often say we see Ronnie do that when he's in full flight. It's, you know, minimum effort, maximum effect. It's a great feeling for a player when you're striking the ball this well.
59 from Neil Robertson. It's been an onslaught in this session. He trailed 5-2, 5-4 to Higgins when they came out for this second session, and Robertson has now won 6 frames on the spin. As they go to the interval, he leads 8-5. I'm sure many people here, though, are hoping John Higgins can come back. And it wouldn't be the first time, would it, if he did?
And I think the interval came from him at the right time as well, just to regroup. Because Neil Robertson was on a roll. John's got a chance here. Can he get himself back into this match? Great shot.
One.
I wonder when the going gets tough, eh?
6.
Well, a couple of seasons back, he won the UK Championship from 9-5 down to Mark Williams, 10-9 in the final.
7.
And it's not exactly been a catalogue of errors from Higgins. He's made some mistakes, yes, but Robertson has played superbly. I think it's safe to say, though, Mike, whatever happens here, he'll be holding on to that cue.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, he didn't play too badly with the other one, but this, he's just stepped up into another gear with it. It's been the problem. The feathers were in the wrong direction. Yes, he's sending it. Well, I assume he's had it a little while, but he's decided the players have to have the courage to change. Fortunately for Sean Murphy, he didn't have the choice. His was broken. But you know, these guys would have had the cues in the house for some time, just trying them out, thinking, well, okay, this might be the one, but it's certainly working.
22.
The investment in the cue has come back tenfold already, even more.
23.
£50,000 the difference between these two today. 30,000 guaranteed. A cheque for the winner for 80,000. Great shot. Tremendous cue power.
Yeah, and you can just see the determination in John Higgins' face. He hasn't given this up yet. Far from it.
You know when he's on it, Dave, don't you? You can see the focus. I think that interval did come at the right time for him.
31.
Just overdone that one slightly because he's got to come down the left-hand side here. Downward striking here on the cue ball.
Stop using your phones, please.
Played it well.
36. 37.
The conditions are perfect. Two players at the top of their game.
44.
This is great stuff. Could do with the 147 day before this finishes. £30,000 actually, the bonus for 147.
You don't much, do you? Just a maximum.
Don't often get them at this sort of stage of a final. Tend to get them earlier in the tournament. Having said that, Stephen Hendry made a maximum in the final frame against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the Liverpool Victoria Challenge. That was incredible. Now then, what's he on? It's okay, the red has bounced. The right hand one is favourite.
52.
It was an incredible final, that one, David. Let's John play this shot. I think it was Birmingham. I think Stephen led. I think it was 8-2. Ronnie came back to 8 apiece. And then what did Stephen do? No, just promptly knocked in a maximum in the final frame. And then they came off the table and started laughing at each other. That was such a standard.
Yes, Higgins not too shabby in the break building department himself. He's made 7 maximums in his career. And he'd like a big break here. Kill this frame off swiftly, cleanly, and the comeback starts.
59.
And it's very quick these days for people to start writing even great players off. He did struggle towards the end of last season. People were predicting he would carry on declining. Well, he's already shown them this season, and it's only been going a few weeks, that that's not going to happen anytime soon. Neil Robertson is aware of that, of course. He's aware John Higgins is more than capable of reeling off frames just as he did.
Yeah, these are the sort of people that can't play the game themselves. He's played a cannon into them there. He's just got to touch too much side on the white. That could be the end of this break.
Just needed another red in the colour.
Well, I definitely played the cannon. Just too much side spin.
You can see how frustrated he is. Well, he's eyeing up his plan. He'd have to make it.
That would be massive if he takes this on, because look at the distance between them. He's attacking them from the right angle, yes, but it's the distance. Well, here we go. I'm not sure about that one. I think he just slightly pushed the boat out there. Safety, I thought, was order of the day.
Well, it was certainly low percentage were the distance between the reds. That said, had he got it, it would have been on the black and it would have been frame over. So 75 available, 66 between them.
Well, he's refusing the pot. Just bringing another red into play. Well, that could have been better. This right hand red here for John is cuttable back into this left corner. And if it goes in, he could lay the snooker and put Neil in some real trouble. He's had a quick look at this left-hand red. He might just be sliding off this one back to ball. It's not as if he's bringing it off the cushion because it's already pottable. Well, that red, that same red, is on. I think he's being tempted. Oh, he's lost the white though. Well, he's gone there because he's tucked the red in the corner of the pocket. Great pot. Well, there's no way we're taking the black on. I think you can see some of the yellow. But but of course he's taken 8 points away from himself. There's not a lot of margin for error now. There's only 67 left on the table, 65 in the frame.
Robertson 1.
Could have really have done it with that cue ball tight to the cushion there. John's already looking at this left unread, but if it's tight to the cushion, it's a much more difficult shot. He might be going for this. It's frame ball. Nope, white to the cushion. Well, this is hard match snooker from these two. And the player that's impressed me the most this week, David, I think has been Robert Milkins. He's really played well, and yes, okay, he got beat yesterday in the semi-finals, but he's got it all back together, hasn't it? It's nice to see his discipline, his his shot selection at the table.
He's another player. There's been a few, Stuart Bingham, Mark Davis, Barry Hawkins, who've sort of come good relatively late into their careers. It shows you it's never too late if you work hard. John Higgins is 38 now. That's an age where you're supposed to be in decline, or always have been before. But the world champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan, is 38 at the end of the year, and he's still very much going strong.
And I'm sure that with Ronnie winning the world title this year, it just gave John a bit of an impetus to say, well, hang on, I'm going to stay around for a little while and see what happens.
Well, he's got a good lead in this frame, but it's not over yet. He knows that. No balls on cushions, so he's got no real security here.
Didn't want that, but it was pacey anyway. Neil's got a chance for red here to this left corner. Well, if he steals this frame, if this goes in and he wins it, makes it 9-5, this really would hurt John Higgins, because he's made all the running up to now. Nope. Where's that white? Don't think he's left anything there. I think they're covering each other.
John Higgins, one of the few players who hasn't learnt the all-round game as he's played. He had it before he turned pro, and I think one of the reasons was when he was a teenager, he spent a lot of time with Alan McManus, who gave him a lot of advice, and obviously they don't call him Angles for nothing. So Higgins, even as a teenager, knew what he was doing.
Well, he's pushed the red towards that side cushion. It's a bonus for him. I think John was pretty much in the mould of Steve Davis, wasn't he? Steve was another one that was all there.
Still is.
Was it 55 now, is it? 56. Incredible. And his ranking still is lower than his age, which was his goal this season.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
1.
So Neil Robertson needs snookers. And guess where he's going to be?
John Higgins 1.
I tell you what, Dave, we've been very lucky. We've been blessed with some great talent in this game over the last 10 years, haven't we? You know, with the likes of himself and Ronnie and Mark Selby coming through, Sean Murphy, Neil. You know, oh, he's conceded the frame.
He didn't fancy it from up behind the green. So it's 8-6. Neil Robertson needs 2. John Higgins needs 4. Oh, that was close again.
Scared the pocket. He's been a little fortunate to have the red land there. But if John can get this frame as well, it makes it 8-7, it becomes interesting. A little lucky to leave John hampered on that red that he would have been taken on. Well, I don't think he's covered that red to the middle. It's a tricky shot from there, but if it goes in, Neil's got a good chance here, but he knows he'll be leaving the one down here. Will he take it on? He's still got the red down this end of the table, actually, on the left-hand side. You can see that one as well. Well, I think he's at his top spin, so he might be going for the pot here. Not guaranteed. Well, it was a calculated risk from John Higgins. But if this blue goes in, as well as we watch the replay, he struck that beautifully. And then 2 shots to get back in prime position. Great shot, dead weight.
6. 7.
Well, what can you say, Dave? You know, that red to the middle, the blue was good as well. Back in prime position.
Yeah, and I go back to the 147 Neil Robertson made in qualifying. There were some shots in there which were incredible as well. So right throughout the start of this new season, he's just cued so well.
14.
No burnout in evidence.
I think that word might be left alone this year.
Well, Barry Hearn at the awards, World Snooker Awards, says he
20.
sort of made a big play of climbing gingerly up the steps, and he said, "Sorry about that. It took me so long. This burnout's a killer." That's what he thinks of it.
It's a great opening salvo, wasn't it?
23.
Well, that red was a great opening salvo as well. The blue wasn't too shabby either.
It's gone wrong. Chose to try and open them up, but he's on nothing.
30.
Could have easier played on the left on red. Would have been easier. They'd have been touching as well. So he will get a chance to come back to the table. Just depends where the white will be though when he gets there. Well, this guy, just looking at the top of the list, the provisional rankings, he's definitely got the jump on everybody else. He's already 6,000 points in front of Mark Selby. He didn't qualify. Judd went early. Sean Murphy didn't qualify. Steve Maguire's not here. So John Higgins at number 6. So, like I say, another 1,400 points to play for today. And That's a big gap to make up for the others.
Yes, Stephen Maguire having an extended rest. And so too here is Neil Robertson. Had no choice.
I'll give you that one.
Well, Hawkeye suggesting he pots it.
You might choose, well, coming from that angle, I think he's trying to pot it. I was thinking about putting the white to the top cushion. I think he's trying to cut this in. No. He's got away with it.
They've not turned much down between them, have they? In that last frame, Higgins went for that plant. It looked really tough.
There's nothing there for John. I think all he can probably do is just put the white to the top cushion here as he just drop it on a red. Might be a similar shot from Neil here from this left-hand red. Well, he's looking at reds, or a red to the yellow pocket. If he plays off this left-hand red and gets it, he's got to try and get this absolutely dead tight to the top cushion. And that prevents a player from getting either side or backspin on the cue ball. Might gradually see a few of these reds find their way up the table in the next few minutes. There's two there already. He's still looking at this red. I think there's one that passes the pink to the left middle. There's also one to the yellow pocket. Looks like plan A then. Well, it's just about there. It's not bad. Well, there's no way John can get this white back to the top cushion now, so he's going to have to look for another route. Possibly white down to the bulk cushion. Well, he's looking at this red to the yellow pocket now. Or is he just sliding off it? Went to the middle and he's overcut it. Wow, that was risky.
Well, it had to go in, really, and it didn't. So Neil Robertson back at the table, 30-0, and you can see that look from Higgins. He fears the worst here.
Well, I wish he could. I'm sure he's wishing he could take that back and play another one.
It's out of his hands.
One.
It was the previous shot which was good from Neil, getting that white tight to the cushion. It restricted the shot selection for John Higgins, and in the end he was tempted. It might cost him the frame. Now can Neil get on this black here, around off a couple of cushions, just rest on this side cushion. It would really help if you can get the black back onto its own spot. Well, he's played on the pink, that's fair enough.
7.
But you can't just gift these sort of chances, Dave, to the guy that's playing like this.
That's right. I don't think there's any prospect of Robertson buckling under the pressure as the winning line comes into view. He's won too many big titles for that to happen. And that's why Higgins, when he sat down, had that look about him. He fears it's going to be 9-6.
13.
Well, I said the black, but he's got the pink now onto the black spot, which helps, of course. Yeah, that's unusual for John. He doesn't, at those sort of stages, of this sort of stage of a match like this, he doesn't normally push the boat out like that. He's normally very disciplined
14.
and prepared to wait. Not on that occasion. Just caught the intended red, but he's still got another one to the middle. Trying to get in behind that one, but he's just pushed it safe. And he's got an angle on this red. He might have to stun round off 2 or 3 cushions. The pink once more. Great shot. Could do with it being high, and it is, and he's got the perfect angle to stun into those 3 reds. Could play the blue. You just know that he's not going to pass up this opportunity.
20.
I think this is about to go 9-6. Could play the brown here, just screw into the green. Might even just play the cannon into the red, actually push it towards the green pocket. I think he's looked at that now. Job. Not far from the winning line in this one, which would put him 1 frame away from the title. This is very impressive. Well, on this form, David, I think there's 3 or 4 titles in him this season. These 2 boys are on it early, aren't they? It's the others that might have to play catch up.
Yes, and this red, and it should be 9-6. There's not many players that can beat an informed John Higgins over a long distance. Neil Robertson is certainly one of them. Obviously, Ronnie O'Sullivan would be another. There aren't that many, I don't think.
Well, I suggest just take the extra 4 points here.
Portugal.
3 snookers needed for John Higgins to tie. He might not come back to the table here. He might just stay in his chair. We shall see. Well, that goes in. Now then, has he had enough? Well, 3 snookers. Can't blame him at this stage.
So it's going to be an interesting tournament, this. The first one played under the new flat draw system, everyone coming in the last 128 round. I was actually at Crondon Park, the Championship League, when it was announced, and these two were there playing. And they were two of the players who were kind of not against it. John Higgins said he thought the formats had become a bit stale, it was always the same people. Neil Robertson seemed to treat it as a new challenge, which is how he seems to treat everything. And, well, here they are in the final.
Well, you related it earlier, David. The cream has come to the top, I should say. It often does as well. I think the thing is, in any major tournament, you have to see it at Sheffield, the Crucible, that yes, sometimes the top players are vulnerable in the first round, but once they get into the longer matches, and they get stronger and stronger. Well, he's had another go at it. He has left the red. Oh, I don't think he has. As he was about to say, he's left the red to the middle. He's had a little bit of a touch there.
It's important Robertson doesn't leave him a pot on, because Higgins is looking to pot 3 reds, 3 blacks and try and get a snooker on the last red and a free ball.
He was attempting to put the pink safe there on the side cushion. Didn't quite manage it, but here's a possible pot on. It's not easy. That could have been worse. But Neil has a chance to kill off the string. Got a kick. Is it still there? It looks wide. Definitely got a kick there. So this is the chance that John's been looking for then. And the red down the other end near the green is in great position to lay a snooker. No, he's not out of this yet. We've seen, you know, frames won from here before. If this had been probably the opening frame of the final, he would have just probably conceded it, but not at this stage. Well, just probably rest the cue ball on that right-hand cushion, so he's got an angle to come back down for the black, and then Concentrate on laying the snooker with the red near the green. Oh, John.
John Higgins 9.
Well, that's a bit careless, I'm afraid, from John Higgins, and he's conceded now. It was half a chance there. He'll be annoyed. That was half a chance. So Neil Robertson needs one more frame to become champion. He leads 9-6. Neil Robertson then, one last push from him and he'll be champion. He leads 9-6. £80,000 will be coming his way if he wins this frame. Not a bad start to the season. It's still only June.
Well, already getting to the final here. He's gone past the £2 million mark in prize money. He's only been a pro since '98. Not too shabby.
No, next time I see him, I'll tap him up for a drink. He did promise to buy various Australian supporters pints of beer, didn't he, at the Masters, if they came out and supported him. Oh dear.
Well, he hasn't totally got away with that one, I don't think. Left Neil just right to the corner.
He's wondering if that's his last shot.
He's played so well in the first session. Okay, we might have let it slip a little bit, but in this session he's been pretty much dominated, to be honest, and there's not many players can do that against John Higgins. It looks good. It's really bang in the middle.
Yes, in all the way, and he's on the black, so Neil Robertson then has his chance.
Well, I'm sure he's going to go into them here with a lot of backspin. Just watch the cue ball here. Well, is he playing the stunt shot? Neither. He's playing on the red in the middle of the pack. He's also got the one to the middle pocket. I thought he might go into them there, but this one is obviously on. Perfect.
70.
I think he might play the cannon this time. Just a little flick on the right and red of the two there. Top. Well, the scoreline is what it is, David, because Neil Robertson has been superb in this second session. He's really taken the game to John Higgins and, well, played relentless snooker, really.
Yes, it's not just the quality of snooker as well, it's the frame of mind, the attitude that he showed from 5-2 down. A lot of players would have maybe got frustrated, a bit intimidated by the scoreline, but he still believed he could win, despite how well Higgins was playing.
Well, he's going through the reds here, so he's just a little bit concerned as to where the white's going to finish. He should hopefully be on the blue, unless he can stay on the black. Wow, it's gone wrong.
33.
Can't believe that he's played it at that pace. I think he's played a glancing blow there, and he's hit it fuller. and he's finished nowhere. They love their snooker here in China, Dave, don't they? Really can't wait for the stars to come out and play.
Yellow.
Well, they've been treated to a good week, I think, and certainly a terrific final. And John Higgins is going to come back to the table after that last shot he played where he left Robertson in. So Neil Robertson, he's put the yellow safe, he leads by 33, but as I say, Higgins back at the table. Oh dear, it's another mistake.
And it might be the last one.
One.
Well, he hardly made any mistakes in the first session, but the last couple of frames were important. Robertson winning them, the last with a century, so he came out, even though he was trailing, knew he was right in it this evening, and he certainly stepped it up.
That was a little bit heavy. I think it's just dropped short on this red. Might be able to just run through for the black. It's got the one to the centre. Oh, it's going backwards. No, it didn't have the angle.
9.
Another kick. We're just hoping to be a little bit closer to the brown and green, but you can screw it directly back from this green for one of the open reds there on the right hand side. Oh, it's got another kick. Well, that's two horrendous ones. Three on the bounce, really.
12.
The white's just stopped. He's still got this red on, but it's from distance now.
Well, it makes you wonder really what difference cleaning the cue ball makes, because Michaela Tabb did clean it, but then he got another kick.
Well, I think he'll still take this red on. He's coming over the brown, fair enough, but he's got the angle to stun over for the black here. Wow. That was unfortunate for him with that kick on the green and losing position, because it looked like it was all over.
Well, John Higgins will take anything right now. He's back at the table, 45-0 down. And twice, I think, already in this frame, he probably thought the match was over.
A little bit on the thick side. Chance here for John to get in then. He's tight. Neil leads by 45 in this frame, but there's still plenty on there for John. High value colours. I mean, the pink, blue's down the table. Pink's a little bit masked, but I don't think he can stay on the black here. Well, that's brought another red into play, and he's on a colour. He's got choices here: green, brown, or blue. Yes, wants to try and get the blue back onto its own spot. That would help. Oh dear.
John Higgins 1, Robertson 5.
Well, that was unexpected. He was just hoping to stun past the middle pocket there, just leave himself on the red below the pink. Well, Neil's not interested in the pot here. He's just playing the safety. Caught that on the thick side, taking the red up the table. Well, John looking at this red to the right centre, possibly trying to get onto the black. It's a great shot. He's played like a half stun shot there. Side cushion, top cushion. He's played it to perfection. It was a poor safety from Neil, really. Caught it far too thick. Wow, this is a chance, another chance here for John to get back into this frame, keep this match alive.
There's no doubt a large proportion of this audience want him to do just that. They've enjoyed the final. They want it to continue as long as it can.
9.
Earlier on, Robertson put the yellow safe when he was 33-0 up. Good decision, because of course Higgins will need it. Still a couple of awkward reds, but the main thing is he's in. This could have been over by now.
Yeah, in playing that last red onto the black, David, as well, he just nudged that other red. It's just gone behind the pink slightly. I don't know whether he'll try and get them open here or go down for the blue. I mean, yes, he's got the chance, but it's hard work from here.
17.
Bob the Builder, isn't he? If anybody can, he can. Now it gets tough.
25.
Might stun over for those right-hand reds.
Well, there was some clattering from backstage there. Someone dropped something.
The applause, but he's missed them. It wasn't one or the other. He didn't get the cannon. It didn't leave the white tight to the cushion. That is end of break.
John Higgins 32.
Good shot now.
Well, a tense frame underway here. 17 points in it. Of course, Neil Robertson just needs this frame to win.
And he's looking at this one. He can get to the potting angle. Too wide this time. Ooh, he's flicked that red out. Didn't want that. Well, the right and red of the two will go to the centre pocket, but John might just bring this red off the cushion here. Well, he's had a look at that now. Too wide. Well, the red between pink and black is available. And I think Neil can avoid the one near the side cushion. Kicked again. And that's why he's caught the other red. That was a definite kick. Not quite sure what the applause was for.
Well, I can only guess they're John Higgins fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
One.
Trying to urge him on to get back into this final. Well, this could work out okay because he'll have a good angle on the black to just bring that other red into the middle of the table. But then he's got the problem of the yellow. And it's just as well that Neil put the yellow safe, what, 10 minutes or so ago. It's gone too far. It's gone too high on the black. Unless he can run through off the top cushion. I don't think it's potable. I think he's got to nudge it. Well, it's okay. He's got a good angle on this black from this position. He's miles away from the yellow. Absolutely miles away from it. Unlucky.
15.
Well, he's not contemplating the double, is he? I think he might get the double kiss there. Got to be a safety, surely.
Well, the good news for him is that Robertson now needs the yellow as well. There's only 2 in it.
But I think he's left the red on.
This was so close to knocking it into a potable position.
Well, he's still battling away. We might see Neil take this one on. Oh. Clean as a whistle. He's gone a fraction far there on the green, actually. Great pot. But I don't think he can get close to this yellow. That's why he's playing the snooker.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Yes, if it could have dropped him behind the yellow on the cushion, he would have played that shot. But it's John's turn to get this safe. Just play this dead weight, just drop on the yellow. And this frame and the match, possibly the match, is now all about the yellow. Great touch. Don't think he'll be tempted with the yellow down the cushion, David. I think it's got a little clip off here for a safety.
Well, when he was about 17, he would have took it on. Might have got it as well.
Yeah.
But things have changed.
That's a poor shot.
Yes, it is. He still needs the blue, so that's doing himself no favours.
Well, again, not a great safety from John Higgins there. He won't be best pleased. He's left the pot on, and Neil can get the white close to the green.
And now he's thinking, why did I knock that blue on the cushion?
Yeah, but if it was still on its spot, he'd be snookered now.
True.
Overcut it. And now he's thinking, I'm glad I did put the blue on the cushion. Although, I think he has got the snooker.
Well, you can understand a bit of tension creeping in, and the crowd certainly getting involved, aren't they? They're living every moment here.
He's just gone far enough to prevent John from potting that. He can swerve around the pink, okay, but there's no value in that really. Can't get close to the green, so this is cushion first.
Hardly been any close frames, but we've got one here. Robertson was a long way in front earlier on. Higgins has come back into it.
Settle for that. There's a lot of tension out there. No, there's no way John will go for this. I think he'll just play the yellow up and down, or he could clip off it actually, bring the white towards the black. Well, this is a little bit more awkward now. Bit pacey. It was a good angle, but just overhit it. Again, will John be tempted? I think possibly yellow up and down, white in behind the brown. We thought it was all about the yellow, but now it's all about the blue. Chose to go for it. It's okay. Nicely played as well. Just look at the pace there. 12 feet away. Doesn't want to go too far. He's left it on. He was just trying to put the yellow to the blue there, I'm sure, but Neil can drop this in and get himself on the green, but well, John also knows that the blue is safe on the cushion, which he still needs. Well, can Neil hold for the brown here? Possibly leave himself an angle to get close to the blue. Might just try and screw into it, actually. If not, just come around the back of it. Oh, he's floated it in, and he's missed it, or tried to float it in. Well, he's going to go for this green, and he's already looked at the blue, the possible double into the left middle. I don't know whether he's got the angle to try and screw directly into the blue here, but he's already thinking about the double into the centre. And John will only need up to and including the pink. He's gone for the cannon. It looks good. What a shot that is. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I thought he just had enough angle there, but he must get the right action on the cue ball. That shot there, I think, has just won him this frame and kept the match alive.
Well, if John Higgins wins this final, that could be where he won it. What a shot from brown to blue.
That is the class of the man.
It's not over yet. John Higgins takes a dramatic frame. And Neil Robertson still needs one for victory. It's 9-7. Well, what a way to respond to all that. Just drilling a long red, finish perfect on the black. That's Neil Robertson for you. As tough as they come. Neil Robertson turned up at the qualifiers without his dress suit. He'd like to go back home to Cambridge with the trophy in his suitcase. And this is another chance here. And if he were to win it here, it's a big if still early in the frame, but what a response that would be. Having lost that last frame, that would have finished off lesser men.
These guys are pretty good though at clearing the mind, aren't they? Looking forward. That's gone wrong. Didn't get the intended cannon. Still got a red to the right middle though. We can come around the back of the black, but didn't play the cannon very well. That's good. Oh, what a shot. What a recovery that is. And he's perfect on the black to play the cannon again here. Well, frame and match might be about this net shot.
Isn't he cueing nicely? I mean, look at that again.
Well, it's gone wrong again.
Yeah, just needed to be on one there. That could have been the end, but he's not on one. And he can't believe it.
I think he was slightly annoyed, David, with the contact he got there. It just seemed to the white seemed to jump a little bit and didn't come off the reds clean. Well, he's finished nowhere, obviously. I think a touching ball has been declared by Michaela Tabb, so he could put the white to the top cushion. Not quite sure what he's looking at here. Don't know if that is touching actually. Don't know if it's rocked back. Perhaps it wasn't then.
Well, that's unlucky, really, to break down like that. I'll have to wait for another chance. Oh dear, well, he's got another chance straight away. Look at that. That is a rare mistake from John Higgins. He can't believe that shot that he's just played. Don't think anyone else can. Contrast that shot with brown to blue in the last frame. You couldn't get a bigger disparity. Just caught the jaws here.
Just check that red that's left of the pink. If it goes through the gap into this right corner, he's got the angle to go into them again if he wishes, but surely this time this is the opportunity to win frame, match and title. A little matter of a check for £80,000 as well.
One thing's for sure, if he does win, he'll go to his home event, the Australian Open, in a couple of weeks full of confidence. That's one, of course, that he really wants to win, and obviously everyone in Bendigo want him to win as well.
9.
But first things first, he's got to finish the job here.
I think he's looking for a little cannon on something here, just to push into the reds from the blue. Just left of the pink would be perfect. Just find that gap. well played. Well, this is obviously a definite chance here for Neil. And you just fancy him to take it as well.
21.
The highs and lows of snooker 8. John Higgins playing that wonderful cannon from brown to blue, as we've mentioned, to pinch the last frame, and then that poor safety catching that middle pocket. Well, it's looking all over for the Scots here. Neil's just a few balls away from the title.
Well, this is the ball he needs, this red, to leave Higgins needing a snooker. He's played so well all week, and when he was 5-2 down, dug deep, produced a 6-frame winning spell. That's what turned this match round. John Higgins won that dramatic 16th frame, but that safety error was his last shot.
Another trophy in the cabinet then?
His 8th world ranking title, and it won't be his last, will it? World number 1, full of confidence. I think this is probably the best he's ever played in a final. All the titles he's won. He'll be very satisfying, particularly, of course, having lost to Higgins in that Bulgaria final a couple of weeks back.
Well, if this is a taste of what's to come this season, we're in for a treat. All the other players will pick up, of course. But again, I say these two guys have hit the ground running at the start of this season.
58.
Well, he's not quite Superman, but he is a man of steel on the table. No doubt about that. It's Neil Robertson's title, and hasn't he played well all through this championship, and particularly from 5-2 down against the great John Higgins. A dramatic final, a high-quality final. The winner is Australia's Neil Robertson. One of his best ever performances in a final. I'm sure he would agree with that. And he's done it. He's the winner. He's beaten John Higgins by 10 frames to 7.